The dollar amount was, Bruce. I guess that's not something I've looked at maybe in a long, long, long time. Maybe I'm comparing it back to what I made at minimum wage back in high school. I don't really know. But certainly I was blown away by that number, which is an important number to pay attention to because as we talk about inflation and the cost of goods continuing to go up, one of the things that can help offset some of that is the increase in wages, right? And so here we have, as you mentioned, 3.9% growth from a year ago in the average hourly earnings for private sector jobs going up. So that's a good thing for consumers trying to keep up with the pace of inflation, all the
Yeah.
while, these job numbers not probably giving the government a ton of confidence that inflation is going to come down to the degree that they would like it. One of many dominoes that have kind of toppled since, this went to court and some of the companies started to settle. And now it seems as if all of them will be racing to settle. And more than likely, Bruce, because they all just kind of want it to go away. They lack confidence in their ability to fight whatever may be left to fight and or the cost and distraction of fighting it. And I think one of the frustrating things about it, Bruce, unfortunately in this country, you don't have to do anything wrong in order to be sued
Right.
and potentially in order for it to be in your best interest to settle. And, Redfin talks about that. They put out a statement that says that the settlement does not concede or validate any of the claims asserted against us in the lawsuits. And I think that's how all of us feel, frankly,
Yep.
Bruce, as real estate companies. It's like, well, we didn't actually do anything wrong. And yet here we are settling for millions regardless. And in terms of the unintended consequences or the wake that these lawsuits could leave for the consumer, we've been in lots of conversation around what that might look like because frankly, like none of us know exactly.
Yeah.
And yet I do believe that there's going to be some negative unintended consequences to the end consumer because of these lawsuits. Yeah, for example, Bruce, 84% of that tappable equity is held by those with rates lower than 5%. So we've talked about this idea of there's a lot of would-be potential home sellers that feel locked in to they feel married to these very, very low interest rates that they gathered while they were low. And so going and replacing that property is a challenge given where rates are now. And it's not because rates are high, they're just much higher than those, traditionally, historically low rates that a lot of people locked in at. And
Yep.
so that's kind of in part creating some of this challenge we're seeing where, like you said, demand has dropped and yet there's not a lot of inventory. So prices continue to go up, again, to the benefit of homeowners.